You will not believe what just exploded in my kitchen. And no, it wasn't me this time. Goldie Karen stood in the middle of her kitchen, hands on her hips, blonde hair haloed by a faint mist of smoke. The oven door hung slightly ajar, rattling as if it had just survived a minor earthquake. The smell of burnt sugar and, was that plastic? Drifted through the air like a warning siren to anyone within. A 3-house radius. She hadn't been attempting anything complicated. At least, that's what she told herself. Just a simple banana bread recipe from Pinterest. How hard could it be? Mash bananas, add flour, don't set off the fire alarm, she had muttered confidently as she whipped the batter together, strutting around her kitchen like she was hosting a glamorous cooking show. But somewhere between preheat to 350 and fold gently, things had spiraled. The oven began to hiss. Not a normal hiss. A hiss that said run. Seconds later, a loud pop echoed like a champagne cork at a disastrous wedding. Flames didn't burst forth, thank goodness, but smoke poured out in fat gray waves. Karen had done what any responsible adult would do. She screamed at the top of her lungs and dramatically flung open every window. "Oh my God, Greg!" she shouted over the fence, as her perpetually nosy neighbor peeked out, squinting. I followed one Pinterest recipe, and now my oven sounds like a marching band with asthma. Greg blinked, his gardening gloves halfway off. "Karen, are you making fireworks again?" With an exaggerated gasp, Karen pointed at the oven. "Banana bread!" It was supposed to be banana bread. But apparently the bananas and I had creative differences. Even in the chaos, her performance instincts kicked in. She picked up her phone, flipped her hair, and started recording. "Ladies and gentlemen, witness Exhibit A in the case of Goldie Karen versus Household Appliances. This oven is guilty of ruining my domestic goddess reputation." She panned the camera to the smoldering oven, then back to her perfectly mascaraed eyes. "Look at me. Do I look like a woman who deserves this betrayal? No. And yet here I stand, a victim of pastry violence." She dramatically grabbed a spoon from the counter, holding it aloft like a sword. "Fine. You know what? I don't need this. I'll just DoorDash banana bread and call it homemade. Don't judge me." The smoke alarm beeped in agreement, shrill and relentless. Karen tilted her chin toward it. "Oh, hush. Even Beyoncé had bad days." As the neighborhood watched smoke puff out of her window, Karen twirled dramatically in the kitchen haze. "This, my friends, is exactly why I can't have nice things. Appliances can't handle me. The end." Goldie Karen had always believed that furniture was more than furniture. It was a statement. And nothing screamed fabulous, louder than the blush pink velvet sofa she had just bought. The delivery guys had barely made it out of the driveway when Karen draped herself across the cushions like Cleopatra preparing for a royal portrait. "Finally," she sighed, arching her back for dramatic effect. "A throne worthy of my magnificence." For exactly 12 minutes, life was perfect. The sofa gleamed, her outfit matched the decor, and she had already filmed a 30-second reel titled Karen's Couch Couture. She envisioned wine nights with friends, staged Instagram selfies, and possibly a reality TV audition where the sofa was her co-star. And then came Sir Fluffyton. Her cat slinked into the room with the air of a villain entering Act 2 of a play. His golden eyes narrowed, his whiskers twitched, and before Karen could even deliver a warning speech, he leapt onto the armrest. With one swift, deliberate motion, he extended a paw and dragged his claws down the velvet. The sound, like someone tearing through her, sole with sandpaper, echoed through the living room. Karen gasped so loudly the neighbors probably thought she'd discovered a body. She clutched her pearls, her rhinestone necklace, and shrieked, "Fluffyton! You furry little traitor!" The cat blinked at her, utterly unbothered, and dug his claws in deeper. Karen immediately staged a courtroom drama in the middle of her living room. She pointed to the shredded fabric and addressed the jury. Her houseplants. "Ladies and gentlemen, the evidence is irrefutable. This sofa was alive and pristine only minutes ago. Now it lies here, mutilated. The defendant, Sir Fluffyton, stands guilty of couch slaughter." Fluffyton, in classic criminal fashion, yawned. Karen stomped over, hands on hips. "Do you have anything to say for yourself?" she demanded. The cat licked his paw and turned away. Ah, silence. A classic guilty move. She collapsed onto the sofa, dramatically cradling one of the cushions like a fallen soldier. "I can't even sit on it now without feeling like I'm sitting on the broken dreams of my Pinterest board." For a moment she considered banishing Fluffyton from the room forever. But then, with a mischievous grin, she pulled out her phone again. "Well, congratulations, Fluffy. You've officially upgraded my sofa from furniture to the world's most expensive scratching post. Hope you're proud of yourself." The cat flicked his tail and promptly fell asleep on the mangled armrest. Karen looked into the camera, shook her head, and sighed with mock tragedy. "This is why I can't have nice things. Even my pets are against me." Goldie Karen had declared it her health era. She'd even posted a selfie with a green juice captioned, "New me, who dis?" Never mind that the juice was just tinted lemonade. Her followers didn't need to know that. But today, she was determined to do it right. She strutted into the kitchen in her brand new Lululemon set. Hair in a high ponytail and plopped kale, almond milk, frozen berries, and a mysterious powder labeled superfood into her brand new blender. She positioned the machine like a co-star in her morning routine reel. "Okay, folks," she announced to her imaginary live audience. "Prepare yourselves for the smoothie that will change civilization as we know it." She pressed blend. The machine roared like an angry lawnmower. The counter vibrated. Karen's eyes widened. That's a little aggressive. She tapped the lid to make sure it was secure. Spoiler, it wasn't. With a violent thwack, the lid shot off like a champagne cork. A geyser of green sludge erupted into the air, splattering the cabinets, the ceiling, and, most horrifying of all, Karen's matching workout set. She froze, smoothie dripping from her lashes. For 3 full seconds, there was silence. Then she whispered, in the tone of a woman betrayed by life itself, "This is not a smoothie. This is a crime scene." She wiped her face with the back of her hand, smearing kale across her cheek like war paint. "Unbelievable. I spend $200 on a blender, and it decides to reenact Mount Vesuvius in my kitchen." The smoke alarm from yesterday's banana bread incident chose that exact moment to beep again, as if mocking her. She glared at it. "Really? You want to get involved too? Stay in your lane." Right on cue, Greg's voice floated from across the fence. "Karen, are you okay in there?" Her head snapped toward the window. "Greg, if you ask me that one more time, I'm charging admission. This is practically a live-action disaster film." She gestured at the dripping walls. "I call this one Smoothie Apocalypse. Tickets are $20. Still dripping, she lifted the blender jug like Hamlet holding Yorick's skull. "Alas, poor blender, I barely knew thee." Then, in true Goldie Karen fashion, she broke into a mischievous grin. "You know what? Forget kale. Forget health. Forget my white cabinets. I'm ordering fries. Health can wait. And this," she gestured at her ruined outfit, "this is exactly why I can't have nice things. Because even my appliances revolt." She took a selfie with the mess, slapped on a sarcastic caption, "Just girly things," and posted it. And just like that, the blender incident of doom became legend. Goldie Karen believed that relaxation was a performance art. If she was going to lounge by her pool, it wasn't just going to be a pool day. It was going to be a cinematic masterpiece. She emerged from her house like a starlet on a red carpet, dressed in an oversized sun hat, massive sunglasses, and a neon pink swimsuit that practically screamed, "Notice me." Under one arm, she carried a giant flamingo floaty. In her other hand, a tray with sparkling water and a suspiciously large bowl of chips balanced precariously. "Today," she announced to no one in particular, "I will finally experience tranquility. No drama, no chaos. Just me, the sun, and my fabulous floaty." The universe laughed. Karen carefully lowered herself onto the flamingo float, flipping her hair like she was filming a shampoo commercial. For a blissful moment, she floated serenely. She even raised her sparkling water to the sky, whispering, "To peace and quiet." Then, without warning, the flamingo betrayed her. It tilted violently to one side, dumping her into the water with all the elegance of a falling piano. She resurfaced with mascara streaked down her cheeks like war paint. Instead of panicking, she struck a pose. Chin up, arms extended. "Ladies and gentlemen, I present to you..." "Drowned Barbie!" The chips floated sadly beside her, each one a soggy casualty. Karen flopped dramatically onto the poolside, coughing like she had survived a shipwreck. She pointed an accusatory finger at the floaty. "How dare you, Flamingo? I gave you my trust, and you turned on me faster than a reality show alliance." But the day wasn't done humiliating her. As she tried to wring out her hat, the pool filter made a horrifying gurgling sound, like it was choking on spaghetti. Karen froze. "Oh no, did I just break the pool? By existing." Greg's voice, right on cue, floated over the fence. "Karen, are you okay? Do you need..." She cut him off, flinging her wet hair in his direction. "Greg, please. Pools should be honored to host me. If this one can't handle my energy, that's its problem." Dragging herself back to her lounger, she wrapped up in a towel like a queen recovering from battle. She pointed to the soggy chips and the suspiciously wheezing filter. "This is exactly why I can't have nice things, because nice things can't handle me." Then, with dripping mascara and a grin, she raised her water bottle toward the camera. "Cheers to chaos. At least it keeps things interesting." The flamingo bobbed innocently behind her, already plotting its next betrayal. Goldie Karen had survived a smoking oven, a shredded sofa, a smoothie apocalypse, and a pool floaty mutiny. By now, she firmly believed the universe had it out for her. But on this particular morning, she made herself one promise. Today will be simple. Today, I will just sit down and drink my iced latte like a normal person. Spoiler, it was never going to be that simple. Karen strutted into her kitchen in a crisp white blouse. Hair perfectly waved, lip gloss sparkling like stage lights. She had ordered her iced latte from the cafe down the street, because after the blender incident of doom, she no longer trusted herself with homemade beverages. She placed the cup gently on the counter, like it was an artifact from a museum. This, she declared dramatically, is my redemption arc. Just me, caffeine, and peace. She slid onto the bar stool, twirled the straw between her fingers like a magic wand, and took a delicate sip. For exactly 4 seconds it was perfect. The coffee was smooth, the ice clinked like music, and Karen leaned back with a satisfied sigh. Finally, something went right. Then, snap. The flimsy plastic straw cracked in half, sending a stream of latte straight onto her white blouse. Karen froze. She looked down at the spreading brown stain, then slowly raised her eyes toward the heavens as though demanding an explanation from above. Really? A straw? After everything? You're taking me down with a straw? She leapt to her feet, arms flailing. This is sabotage! I can't even drink like a civilized adult without chaos. What's next? Will my spoon attack me during cereal? Will forks unionize against me? The coffee dripped down her blouse, splattering onto the floor like punctuation marks to her meltdown. She grabbed a dish towel and pressed it against the stain, then tossed it aside with a dramatic groan. Unbelievable. This blouse was supposed to scream effortlessly chic, not coffee crime scene. As always, Greg's voice carried over from the yard. Karen, what now? She whipped around, latte still in hand, and bellowed, Greg! Don't you see? This is bigger than me. This is fate! The universe has officially declared war on my aesthetic. She turned back to the camera, holding the broken straw aloft like Excalibur. Her eyes narrowed. Her voice dropped to a theatrical whisper. And that, my friends, is why Goldie Karen cannot have nice things. Because nice things don't survive me. With a mischievous smirk, she bowed, coffee dripping onto the tiles. Thank you. Tragedy is an art form, and I am the Picasso of disasters. Now like and subscribe before my Wi-Fi catches fire. Thanks for watching. Babes, don't forget to like, subscribe, and ring that bell so you never miss the next disaster. Because trust me, there will be one.